Hello everyone! Today we'll talk about what a thermostat is, look into its design and features of its operation. From the name it can be seen that this device is somehow related to temperature, since the name itself has a thermo root. And this is true, since the main purpose of the thermostat is to maintain the optimal operating temperature of the internal combustion engine. During operation, an internal combustion engine generates a lot of heat, so it must be cooled. The engine cooling system consists of a set of tubes through which coolant circulates. There is also a radiator in the coolant system. When the engine only starts to warm up, the coolant circulates only through the engine itself. But when the engine reaches high temperatures, the coolant begins to flow to the radiator. This process is similar to when we go outside in a jacket. Suppose at first we walk in a jacket. We slowly warm up, and when we get home, we unbutton the jacket. The same way, approximately, the engine works also. While warming up, the liquid circulates through a small circle, but when the engine gets hot, it opens up and the liquid begins to flow to the coolant radiator. So, the main purpose of the thermostat is to open or close the fluid path to the radiator at the right time. The main part of the thermostat is the cylinder, shown here in blue. This cylinder can move up and down. Now it is raised up, and in this position it is down. When the cylinder is lifted up, it opens the hole at the bottom and closes the hole at the top. In the second case, when the cylinder is down, it closes the lower hole, so it is closed, and so the liquid can no longer flow through the lower hole and the upper hole opens. This movable cylinder itself is filled with a special substance inside. I marked it blue on the board here. This substance expands under the influence of temperature. When it expands, it starts to push this black rod and the cylinder goes down. This process can be demonstrated on the example of a conventional bicycle pump. Consider the first position, when the cylinder is at the top and covers this upper hole. In this case, they say that the thermostat is closed and the liquid, as I said, circulates through a small circle. During engine operation, the temperature of this coolant constantly rises. It begins to heat up this substance, which, as I said, begins to expand under the influence of temperature. It pushes the valve down, like this, here. Here is the first position, and in the second position, the entire valve moves down. And so, intermediate conclusions. The first position of the thermostat is when the thermostat is closed. That is, this upper hole is closed. Then the coolant circulates in a small circle. In the second position, the thermostat is open because the upper hole opens and the lower hole closes. Thus, the coolant stops moving in a small circle and begins to move towards our coolant radiator. Here is the design of the thermostat up close. And so this is the lower part of the valve, which here on the board covers the bottom hole, and here it blocks the bottom hole in this part. The valve also has an upper part. Here it is, but not quite visible. It closes the upper hole, here it is on the board, closes the upper hole. The cylinder is golden in color, which is displayed in blue on my board, and inside this golden cylinder there is a special substance that reacts to temperature and expands. I remind you that now the thermostat is in a closed position. That is, the upper hole is right here and it is closed. And so I throw our thermostat into the kettle. Now the gap is completely closed and the thermostat is closed. The upper hole is closed. Depending on the manufacturer, thermostats can open at different temperatures, but the average is around 90 degrees Celsius. This thermostat shows a temperature of 87 degrees, for example. By the way, in order to choose the right thermostat for your car, go to the AutoAdviser website. The link will be in the description. So the conclusions. The thermostat is designed to maintain the optimum temperature of the internal combustion engine. In simple terms, the thermostat opens or closes the coolant path to the radiator. Thus, the thermostat has two positions: a closed position when the path to the radiator is closed, and an open position when the path to the radiator is open. It is recommended to replace the thermostat every 100,000 kilometers, but this is usually forgotten, and therefore people often face an unexpected breakdown of the thermostat. The failure of the thermostat is that this valve stops moving, so the thermostat usually jams in one of the positions. The thermostat is always closed, or the thermostat is open all the time. The most dangerous cases of thermostat failure are when it is constantly closed, in which case the coolant will only move in a small circle and the engine will overheat. When it overheats, steam may go under a hood. The coolant temperature arrow on the dashboard will fall into the red zone. In this case, you must immediately stop, because if you overheat the engine, it may deform and its design and geometric dimensions will be broken, which will entail very expensive repair. In the second case of a breakdown, when the thermostat is constantly open, the liquid will immediately fall on the coolant radiator. So if you notice that the engine warms up very slowly, and at high speeds it can even cool down, that is, the temperature of the working fluid will drop, then the thermostat is permanently in the open position. It is also very bad and negatively affects the operation of the engine as a whole. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And all the best to you. See you soon.